What is going on, guys? Filipino here, and today I finally achieved a sub 22 run for Minecraft Random Seed Glitchless 116.1. I actually was just playing offline. It's about 4 a.m. as I was recording this. It's actually 4:40 right now, and it's funny because I didn't really think this seed was anything special, especially at the start. As we can see here, I'm just in a desert. I don't really see anything. I'm not even in F5 looking around or getting these dead bushes. I'm just going to see what this desert brings me. I'm actually like half on my phone, half now I'm actually playing a little bit, but I was like half checking my phone as I'm running through the desert here, and I see a village at the end near the savannah. So I'm like, okay, let's try to play this out and see where we can get going. And I finally decide to get some dead bushes at the last second after seeing the village. And I'm gonna start off with getting a little bit of wood here at the savannah first before getting into the desert, as I won't be able to get too much wood. I'll have to go back to the savannah, so to save a little bit of time, I'm gonna get some wood here. I'm going to get about 3 logs because I have that 4 sticks from the dead bushes. I wish I could have gotten more, but 4 is still pretty good. I don't have to make another set of sticks, so I'll make a wood pick and get our stone tools going. I know some other people make stone pickaxe, but preferably for me, I do no stone pickaxe, and then I just get an iron pick. So I'm making my tools here, and we're gonna get a little bit more wood because right now I'm thinking about going for cod strats, and I need a little bit more wood to make that barrel. So I'm just making sure I have enough wood to get that going. I'm gonna get my beds here, and we're gonna get 3 here. I'm pretty comfortable with about 6 to 7 beds, but sometimes I take a little extra just to be safe. So I'm gonna I actually hit the baby villager there, and I see there's a blacksmith here too, so I'm like, okay, let's see if we can get here. I get some iron boots, a diamond, and obsidian. Nothing crazy. That obsidian's gonna help a lot, but nothing crazy with like the 1 diamond or iron boots. I'm going to get my hay bales, and I'm trying to find the hay trade from the villager right away as soon as I can. I have 6 beds right now. None of these villagers have it, so I'm gonna replace the composter for both of them, and hopefully one of them will have it. This one doesn't have it, and that one hasn't taken his role yet, so I'm gonna replace that. And while I'm doing that, I'm gonna go try to kill the golem. I actually misplayed this because the golem actually climbs that well. Well, luckily, the run could have just been dead right here, but I actually probably wasted about a minute at a time or so, or at least 30 seconds, fiddling around with this iron golem, because I'm trying to crit it, but I'm like, wait, I'm 4 blocks too high. I need to get 1 down. So I finally mined a block, and then I start doing normal crits. But that probably wasted about, at least, I'd say 30 seconds. So, a couple mistakes that can be cut, but I'll be grinding to get that down. I'm at 7 beds now. Finally, I see this villager has the trade. So now I'm like, okay, I'm gonna craft my iron pick, and also while waiting for someone to get the barrel to get our cod, and we get it first trade, so that's really good. We're gonna make our iron pick here, and I probably should have made a diamond shovel at this point, but didn't think about it. So that's something I need to prepare for later. I'm gonna get a little more hay bales just for extra food, and I'm gonna just get a little more wood, and I'm gonna start looking for a lava pool as soon as I finish getting all this wood. So I'm set up pretty well. I have the 1 iron for a flint and steel. I have my iron pickaxe. I have a bucket of water and a pretty good amount of food. So we're coming out of the village at about 4:20 or so, 4:30, and I'm looking for flint right now, and I'm not seeing any flint, especially in this cave. I'm going down this cave. Probably shouldn't have gone that far down, and I'm just gonna let the sand update to get out quicker. It actually kills the bunny, so after that bunny, I'm gonna try to collect a little more sticks. And I see a temple here. I'm thinking, do I really need this temple? It could be like a waste of time, just a bait. I'm like, I don't really know if I need the temple. So I'm going towards it while just looking for a lava pool. I can actually see a lava pool to my left here, but I haven't seen it at the time yet. I can see it right here, but I still haven't seen it yet, like, as I'm playing this. So I'm like, okay, the temple, But as I'm thinking about going to the temple, like, I should maybe go, and I turn around, right there, boom, that's the lava pool. I actually didn't see it before, which is kind of crazy. So I'm like, okay, this temple's just a bait, let me just make our portal here. And I still don't have flint, so I'm like, I don't know if I should. I actually fall in the lava too, which is another misplay. I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna make a flintless portal. If I can't find flint in time, I'm gonna change my difficulty to easy here, just so I don't get burned right away. I'm gonna do my normal portal, fiddling around a little here, wasting a little bit more time. Make our portal here. Ghost lava as always, and now I'm changing my difficulty to hard while placing all the wood to set up for a flintless portal. And another misplay, which doesn't hurt me too bad, is I don't get a lava bucket here. Normally I get a lava bucket going to the nether instead of keeping a water bucket, just in case I have to deal with hoglins or anything. So I come into the nether at pause neg. I don't see anything off the bat, so I'm just like, okay. I was already thinking about resetting soon, because I don't really see anything, but I see a fortress right there off the bat. So I'm like, okay, a fortress, that's not bad at, I believe that's pause. So I'm like, okay, let me go try to find a bastion, see if I can find a bastion. I'm trying to save with slabs here, and okay, I'm like, okay, that fortress is right there, so I'm gonna try to find a bastion. So I'm gonna try to get a gold helmet real quick, because I already have gold iron boots here. So I'm gonna try to split up the armor around and go with a gold helmet. And I actually get 1 gold too many, but that's fine. So we get our gold helmet, and now I'm just looking for a bastion. I know the fortress is around pause, so I need to go looking around here. I'm gonna go for pause, and I see a bastion right there actually. And it's at pause meg. So I'm gonna make a couple more slabs because I'm thinking I'm gonna have to bridge here. So I'm like, oh, let me make more slabs. Probably should have made more food right now, but that's fine. I made a boat just in case I had to really go down any large area, which I didn't really have to. But I'm like, how can I get to this fastest besides bridging? I'm like, okay, maybe I can just go up here and then drop down on it, which turns out to be a pretty good idea. I fiddle around a little bit more. I'm like, okay, it's right there. I don't have to worry too much. I can just hop around and then do just a little bit of bridging instead of bridging all the way below to get to here. And I don't even, I noticed right away actually that this is housing. So I'm like, okay, I need to get down. For housing, I need to get down so I can do the normal housing route. Accidentally fall a little bit too much and run out of blocks there, but I have my slabs. I'm like, okay, let me just drop. I'll just drop. I'm fine right now. I have my helmet, so I can just heal up, and I start the route going. And this piglin that I happened to spawn right there actually comes in. So I'm like, oh, I don't want to open that chest yet. I will just lock them in here because they can't jump out of that hole. And this piglin's kind of getting it away, so I'm like, okay, gotta block this guy out too. And there we go. And now is when I start mining the gold blocks. I want to try to open it up a little bit more for the piglin so they can drop better, but this piglin just doesn't want me to do that, so I'm gonna toss him the gold. And I'm like, how about I just do this and give him even more space, a 2x2 instead of just that little 1x2 area. So they're gonna start trading, and I'm gonna mine up all these gold blocks. And as I'm getting all these gold blocks, I am trying to convert them into gold and trade with them, heal up so I can get my health back to full, because I'm at good pace right now for myself. 9 minutes already trading, which for me is actually pretty decent. So I already got all them down. This guy actually didn't want to go down earlier, so I'm like, oh shoot, it was lucky I actually did and go heal earlier. Otherwise I could have possibly died. So I go keep eating to heal up again, and I'm heading towards the top now to go get the chest for obsidian, crying obsidian, and maybe some armor or whatnot. And there's actually so many piglins on the way, but don't have to worry about those guys on the stairs, just the ones up here. I see, okay, there's no one really on this rampart. I just toss a couple. I'm like, I'll take the soul speed. And I have full gold here, which is pretty good protection. A lot of obsidian, a little more extra gold. I already get fire res off the first couple trades. Just more gold armor. I'm like, nothing in this one. A lot of obsidian in this one. Like, I get so much obsidian from these chests. They came in really good. I'm like, I didn't go for that string because I'm like, I have like 7 beds, so I don't really need the extra string. Now I'm going back down for the original trades and check out what we get. I'm trying to get these pearls I saw right away. I'm only at 12 right now, so I'm like, okay, I at least want one more trade. So I'm trying to sort my inventory while trying to wait for the pigs, the triglins to trade one more pearls, and I get a lot of pearls there with 16 and 12, 28 pearls, another fire res. So I splash that down. I'm like, okay, I get a little bit more iron nuggets too. I'm like, do I need anything else? Do I need anything else? I'm like, no, I'm good. I'm pretty sure I'm good. I'm like, okay, where's pause? I'm trying to get the pause because if you guys remember from the start, through the portal, I saw that fortress was pause. So I'm trying to get the pause very, very quick. And I probably should have played this a little better. I probably should have just retraced my steps because I probably could have played that a little bit better. But I'm just swimming in lava, trying to find a fortress. I'm like, okay, I know it's pause. Has to be here somewhere. I'm just keep on going through pause. I'm like, I know I'm gonna find it here somewhere. I'm hoping I didn't misread it and it wasn't pause, but I'm like, an F5 here, and I see the fortress leg right there. So I'm like, oh, okay, I know it's there now. That magma cube actually almost kills me, which is crazy. Or it does some decent damage to me. So I'm trying to get to this fortress now. I'm just making sure I have enough fire res. I have a minute. And I have no idea where this magma cube came from. It came out of nowhere. And it gets me really, really low. So I'm just trying to back it off while trying to pearl by the fortress. And this pearl is actually really, really good. Because I'm like right next to the fortress here. And I can just pillar up and I'll be inside the fortress already. So now I'm pillaring up, trying to use gravel because I don't really need the gravel. It's just extra blocks. And it's not a solid block, so I like to use the gravel right away. Especially when pillaring up, because it's not a solid block. I can just waste it, not have to really worry about it as the other blocks. I like to keep like a stack of netherrack or some just solid blocks to just go around. So now I'm trying to find a blaze spawner or any stray blazes right away. And I know the fortress layout, so I know going up the stairs, and I'm out of that chest area where you don't really want to be in. So now I'm trying to find the blaze spawner. And I see one right here. It's like it's pretty exposed, but there's like kind of a roof above it. So I'm like, okay, let me refresh my fire resistance. I start killing the blazes. I get actually pretty bad blaze luck for this, which is actually really crazy. I could have saved a lot of time if I got better blaze luck. I go 1 for 3 to start. And I'm like, okay, let me make an iron axe so I can do a little more damage. Now I finally make my diamond shovel. I'm gonna go 1 for 4. I'm just sorting out my inventory while waiting for more blades to spawn. I didn't get that much glowstone, so I can only do 1 respawn anchor. I'm like, what do I sort here? I need to go make more food, but I'm taking some time to realize that. Just doing more sorting out. I'm like, okay, what can I do here? Another blaze spawns. I go 2 for 5. I'm like, okay, now I gotta go make food, because I might realize my health is actually not regenerating. I make some wool just in case, but I don't really use it. Just sort out more inventory. I'm like, okay, I need those fire charge because I made a flintless portal. I already have armor, so I don't need the leather. I'm like, should I go mine out? But I'm thinking, wait, I start to mine out, then I'm realizing, wait, what am I doing? Let me just get a couple more of these nether bricks because they're strong type. 2 more blaze spawn, so I go kill these. I believe 3. I get 1 here, so I'm gonna go 3, but I don't get to pick it up. And I don't think I got 1 from the other. So I believe I'm at 3 for 7 right here. But I don't get to pick 1 up. I just bed bomb the spawner, so I get more spawning room without having to really mine it out. I go mine out the back here, so it gets the most spawning area. And right off the bat I get 4 spawns, that's really good. I'm gonna go 3 for 8, 3 for 9, 4 for 10, and 4 for 11. So I'm like, man, these blaze drop rates are really bad right now, but luckily, they're spawning not too frequently, but they're spawning in pretty big batches. Another one spawns and I'm trying to figure out where I should place my portal. I'm gonna go 5 for 12. And they keep spawning a lot, so it was good I did that. 5 for 13. I realized, oh shoot, my fire has actually ran out. It just tells you how long I've been in the fortress. I get meleeed. Trying to kill these. 6 for 14. 7 for 15. 7 for 16. And then 7 for 17. So I'm like, oh man, these I need one more, but I'm gonna go make my portal. I'm like, where should I make it? Where should I make it? Trying to find the right, just like calculate a decent area. I'm like, okay, I have 24, so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do educated, or I'm gonna do blind travel, then educated based off of the blind travel. I hear a couple more blaze spawn. I go try to kill these. Gonna go 7 for 18. Try killing this one. And I finally go 8 for 19. I kill another one too just because they spawned right there. And I'm gonna go 9 for 20. I go through this portal. And I'm making my blaze powder. Make a couple eyes of ender. I'm like, where is this gonna go? It goes just about 0. I'm like, okay, wait. I'm like, I only took 7 rods. Or actually did get 8, but I'm like, I just want to be safe. And get the eye of ender. I'm like, okay, it's 0, it's this direction. There's a couple more blazes, I'm like ignoring them. Just get out of the way. And unfortunately, this area was pretty closed off. I'm like, I didn't really have too much space to travel, so I'm like, okay, let me at least get like 100 or so blocks of distance off of just walking, which I think saved at least a little bit of time. Not that much, but it's a little bit. And I see the Eye of Ender still going that way, but with a little bit to the left. I'm like, okay, this might be pretty far. I turn on Chunks because with Chunks, the Eye of Ender always points towards the middle, around 7-7 to 8-8 area in the chunk. So I could calculate based on where I throw the eye, if it would be there. But you would have to be already pretty close. I don't know how close it is yet, so I'm just trying to get, and my eye does break on this one, so I'm just trying to cover a decent amount of distance. I don't know how far it is. And recently, actually too, they just banned calculators. That's pretty cool. I never really used calculators, the stronghold calculators, or even any calculator at all. I just based it off throwing the eye, and if I had like a flat area, I would just calculate it like mentally, but I didn't really look into the stronghold calculators, and just I don't even know how you would do it with paper and pen. I'm sure there's a way, but I haven't really looked into that. My other eye breaks. I'm like, oh shoot, how much do I have? I'm like, let me just craft a little bit more. I'm getting attacked, so I'm like, oh shoot, it's gotta go. And I actually noticed from this pearl that it goes back a little bit right, so I'm like, okay, my axe is about a good distance. And I'm just going forward now, increasing my Z. I'm like, okay, it's still going forward. I thought it might go backwards there. I see a swamp here, and I know strongholds can't spawn below swamps, so I'm like, okay, it has to be like either really close right here or past the swamp. So I'm trying to get it. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna throw one more here, because there's no way it's past the swamp, and it actually goes down right before the swamp too. So that was a good read that it wasn't gonna be in the swamp, or should be past the swamp. So now I'm digging down at 4, or pretty close to 4-4. The 4-4 trick, as people know, as you dig down, it goes into the entrance of the entrance staircase. But basically you can dig pretty close to 4-4, as long as like a block or two off. and you'll still be at the entrance. Maybe even 2 blocks, and you'll be like on the wall of the staircase. So I'm going around trying to look for the stronghold. I see this whole path leads to nothing, so I'm going back, and I'm like, okay, let me try this spiral down. I see light, and I see right there, right away, the staircase to the ender portal. It's only a 10, or it's only a 2 eyes, so I only need 10, so I don't have to craft more eyes of ender, luckily. And I always have been going pretty much for a north-south perch. I don't really do east-west anymore since my 20th. Well, I did east-west on my 26 PB, but I go for a north-south here, as I always have been basically for the past couple days. I only placed 1 obsidian because I realized, oh wait, I only have 1 respawn anchor. There's not really a point to place 2. And unfortunately, the dragon actually fireballs the center, so I'm like, oh shoot, if he perches right now, I'm kind of screwed, because he just fireballed that, and I'm gonna be basically getting killed as I'm trying to kill him. And that does pretty much a decent amount of damage, so I'm like just trying to pillar up, waiting for that the dragon fireball to dissipate, while also getting some height. I'm like, okay, just use all the blocks I can, just get as high as I can. Just waiting for the dragon to perch. I have 6 beds and a respawn anchor. I see the snap, I pearl, and this 1 cycle is actually kind of bad. I go a little early, or a little late actually, with that respawn anchor. And I get him with just enough beds and the respawn anchor. 6 beds and the respawn anchor. And there we go.
Oh my god.
And I'm freaking out because I just beat my PB by about 4.5 minutes or so.
Sub 22! Sub 22!
There it is.
Oh my god,
Thank you all for watching. Be sure to subscribe, and
What the heck?
I'll see you all in my next, hopefully, PB.